Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this file, and they need equal segments, equal lines, and you can't do it equally on a, well, I can't think of a way right now, on an object that's not round. You know, this thing's not perfectly round, and I'm going to show you how I figured that out in just here in a little bit. Let's take and I've done it, and mine is perfect. With the exception of the two outer ones, they look a little different. You know, mine looks better than that, for sure. He's got a big one and a real little one. So I'm going to show him how to do this part. The reason these look bigger, and they are bigger, is because this curve is not a true curve. It's a oblong shape, which this is right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to, tell you what, we're going to grab that box and move it out of the way. And I actually altered his circle to make it look better. And I don't know how important this shape is, but if we take this, tell you what, let's move this out of the way. Let's group this two circles together, Control G, and then let's hit P and put that in the center. Now let's grab them all and hit B like in boy, and that put it to the bottom of my circle. And you could see how I made my circle off this circle. This is his circle. And we're going to tell the difference. I'm going to make it red. I'll tell you what, let's make it blue. Let's hit P. Now let's take them both and hit B like in boy to put it to the bottom. It actually moved my circle up, but that's fine. And here's the difference. My black lines at least have a common angle where these aren't even a common angle. So for the one I'm doing it for, I took your blue, your edge, and made it, you don't want to do that, made a common edge. So I'm just going to go through here and get it and move yours out of the way. Now, this is in the center. And the reason I said I had a common edge is if we go and take the 2-point line and go from that node to that crosshair, which is in the center, you can see my lines are lined up. His lines would not line up. They would go off in some tangent, if you can see the difference. His lines aren't going to be in the center, so you're not going to be able to rotate it any way, form, or shape. But now we need to figure out what this angle is, and this is one of the reasons I decided to make the video, is to use the angular dimension tool. And I'm going to go from that node to about there and then move it over there, and I have 15.32. Okay? Let's get out a calculator. 15, which 115.32 divided by 12. And we have 9.61. So just remember that, 9.61. Take this line right here. Let's get rid of this. So keep saying 9.61. And let's actually, that line is actually together. So let's do this. Let's go and whenever you draw two lines together, Corel puts it together. Let's grab the shape tool and grab that node and break it apart. And then go ahead and just delete this line. I don't want to delete the whole thing. Let's back up here and we can grab the line with the pick tool. And it's just that line and hit delete. Now I'm deleting the whole thing. I'm going to have to go break curve apart to get rid of that line. Now I'm just getting that line. So now, and remember 9.61, change your center to rotation to there. We can actually open up the Docker window, Docker's transform, and we can put 12 at 9.61 rotation. Now it did it, and they're even, and even the angles are even up here if we check our angles, but it doesn't look 100% correct because of the fact that it's those other lines are, you know, it's a egg. So there's 9.61. Let's do a center one. 9.61. It's really tight, but you can read it. So my angle's right. I've got 12 lines, except for these outer ones look different because it's the shape of the circle, of not a circle. Now, if we did this with a true circle, every line would be perfect. So every one of them is going to be increasingly bigger because we're going out further into the universe instead of going around a true circle. So there is those lines. Now, a couple of ways you could get these lines done and get a copy of them is let's set our nudge factor on something bigger than this, which is over 8. So let's make it 9 inches. And instead of deleting all these lines, just take your Smart Fill tool, fill each one of them in, and nudge them to the top. If you have a leak or you missed, I've got a leak. So what we can do is just nudge the other ones up and see if we can't fix the leak. And sometimes it could be maybe the indexing line. Let's turn our indexing lines off. I don't see how that's leaking, but it is. Let's look at it closer. How could that be leaking? It's the same. Let's see where it leaks. See, it's leaking up there, but it's not leaking all the way. That is really strange. You know what we're going to try? We're going to try to fill in that. Wow, that worked. Now you can just delete this because this is what we wanted. Delete all this. Whoop. And then you can take this and left click, right click, and you have those lines without all the red lines. I hope that made sense and why it's larger. Hope that helped and answered this question, and thank you for watching.